Welcome to Uniquely Loved, a celebration of authenticity and divine inspiration. We are encouraged to be our own unique, authentic selves. Join me, Tech Witch Niki, as we discuss spiritual gifts and skills we can develop and enhance, speak with amazing people using their skills in a variety of ways, and explore the different ways to connect to the wonders of the universe.
Hello, my loves. We are now in the very start of a retrograde with the planet Mercury, and I have already been having a whole lot of technical issues with a lot of my stuff, and even train of thought. um, I'm pretty sure everyone is going through something similar, whether it be the internet going out, um, miscommunications, texting, and then autocorrect doing something really strange. And you have to go back and correct everything you just typed out because you either fat thumbed it or autocorrect just did something strange. And it's been happening a lot to me as well. I've been flubbing up my words. Um, my internet has been really wonky, which makes it very difficult sometimes when you're, doing an online business or running a podcast or even just trying to send a email. And everyone always blames the retrograde. Mercury's in retrograde. That's the planet of communication. He's the god of a whole lot of awesomeness, and a lot of it is being a messenger, communicating. Um, there's a whole lot that goes around about saying, hey, don't text your exes. Um, don't go back to what you have previously cut ties with, because a lot of times during these types of retrogrades, some people may come out of the woodwork that you thought you were long done with. And they come knocking on your door or messaging you or calling you and being like, hey, what you doing? Like, hmm. If you had a reason to block them before, continue that, keep those boundaries. Um, we are also in the middle of a Venus retrograde, and Venus is, she is symbolic of love, romance, self love. And self love has been really, really highlighted for me and many of my clients and a lot of my friends. So that might be one of the biggest things for this particular or theme for this particular retrograde. I'm not 100% sure if it's, everyone or just a lot of the people I'm interacting with. And a lot of that also includes setting boundaries because, saying no and not being too giving of ourselves, um, not overextending ourselves with either commitments, expectations, or going out on the town when we should be staying home, and because we either have to study or work the next day or we have to honor our energy. And setting those boundaries and being able to be like, no, you know what, I need to rest and recharge. That is a form of self love. And that has been extremely highlighted for me, and many that I've been around. And even with communication, setting boundaries is a really big way we can communicate not only to others, but even to our guides, ourselves. It's like, you know what, I'm important too. I'm going to take care of myself too. Um, but whenever we're in these types of transits, I know there's a lot of people who don't put a whole lot of emphasis on astrology. And I didn't really, outside of the zodiac, it's like, ooh, what's my sign? It's like, oh, that actually kind of matches. Maybe there's something there. And getting into even further into my practice and reading into even more. I'm by no means an astrologer at all, but I do find it all fascinating and how everything kind of, or definitely corresponds in some ways. There are so many different synchronicities throughout all of these different events, and I am going to channel energy right now to help support you through these retrogrades, um, best uplift you, send you loving, positive, soothing energies, anything in your highest good That way we can weather these different transits a little bit smoother, really just to smooth everything out. And that way we can be more at peace and be more in the moment so we can catch those little typos or catch ourselves before we jump to a conclusion that somebody said something and it's like, wait, I interpreted it this way. Is that what you meant? What? No. That happens often during retrograde seasons. So I am channeling these energies to help support all of us and uplift us and help us find that peace, find that serenity and the awareness behind how we think and how we act and react so we can weather all of these different changes much more smoothly than we normally would. And as I channel all of these, I am nourished by them too. Because I'm definitely needing all of this as well. I have been taking baths, I have been moving, I have been doing all of my grounding practices to help me weather all of my little internal storms, or rather large internal storms, whatever I need. Um, and I'm sending out the energies to help you do the same thing. Um, if you need grounding, I'm sending those energies to you as well. And here are some tips for navigating a lot of these different retrogrades. This one is specific for Mercury, but they are good for any, and just good tips for right now, anyways. So be patient with yourself and with others. I'm still channeling. Don't worry, I can multitask. um, Embrace the slower pace of life. Take breaks when you need to. Use this time to address any lingering issues or anything that comes up to the surface during this time. A lot of times, especially with communication, we also get a whole lot of thoughts that come in, little inspirations or those negative intrusive thoughts that sometimes we push to the background and they can come forward. And so we can be like, oh, wait, why are you here? No, go away. And, actually release that for good instead of just shoving it back in the closet again. Communicate clearly. So double check your emails, your messages, your text messages, any instructions that you give to anyone to avoid miscommunications. Um, I have to do that all the time anyways, but that is always especially needed during these times. Review and revise. Take advantage of your awareness, your own internal critical eye, and evaluate projects, goals, messages, plans, your budget, anything that you need that you're setting up for the future, especially for these 2-3 weeks, a month, um, probably longer. I'm getting longer. So through the end of summer into the fall, definitely look at everything and see if any tweaks need to be made. Excuse me. Be flexible. Be prepared for unexpected changes and practice adaptability in your daily routines. For a lot of us really like structure, especially if we are a little more neurospicy. Structure helps us plan and mentally prepare for what's to come. And I have to do that with my daughters as well. Whenever a big change is coming up, I start warning them ahead of time, being like, hey, this is coming. This is what you can expect. Here's how we're going to get through this together, stuff like that. So be flexible and be prepared for unexpected changes. They unfortunately happen all the time. That's a part of life. Chaos does happen, and we have to be able to roll with it. And again, grounding and finding our center helps us so much weather these little or big storms. I keep wanting to say little because I want them to be little. But unfortunately, sometimes there are things that are way out of our control that are just really big and can be overwhelming. So the more we can take a deep breath, pause, and then evaluate with that critical mind, the logical mind, not just the emotional mind, not just with our heart, we can come back to our center, come back to our alignment, and be able to make the adjustments that we need to. Practice self-care. That, what I've just gone through, is a form of self-care as well, but so is getting good rest, eating good food, hydrating. It's not just enough to drink water, having enough electrolytes. So I use like Propel or Gatorade or some different brands of electrolyte powder in my water because I like flavored water. Um, and I primarily drink water, sometimes coffee, sometimes tea. And we don't want to overhydrate with only water because we still need all those other nutrients within us. So get your nutrients however you do it. What's best for you? Get your rest. Um, Find alone time so you can recharge whenever you need to. If you need to take a nice long hot shower and wash away the day, wash away the stress, the overwhelm, or a nice long bubble bath or a salt bath. Epsom salts is really, really great. Getting out in the ocean, if it's warm enough where you are, and if you're even near one, lake, pool, anything like that, getting out in nature, um, just relaxing and being you, being able to just rest and be you, and just know that you are loved, supported, and accepted is also a form of self care. Meditation, playing music, whatever you need to do to soothe yourself, to amp yourself up when you need to relax, whatever. Just make sure you take that time for you. And it helps a whole lot, even if it's only 5 minutes here and there, because we have a whole lot going on. There's, you know, some kids are going back to school next week. Others are already back into school and still weathering all of those, the big changes like, oh, new schedule, new friends, new teachers. Um, a lot of people are entering new jobs, new coworkers, new bosses, new ways of being. A lot of people are just going through so many different changes, and many of them are amazing. And even the amazing ones can bring challenges, can bring fear because, hey, fear of the unknown. It's still a change. Even if it's a really awesome one, there's still a whole lot of unknowns surrounding it. So give yourself that patience, that grace, and the compassion to just know that you're going to be okay. And even if the changes are not that great, because that happens, life does happen, know that you are still supported. You are loved. You have an entire spiritual team rooting for you, supporting you, sending you nudges, sending you inspiration, intuitive messages, as well as the people around you who do care for you. Even when we feel like we're completely alone, we're not. There are still people around you who want to support you, want to see you succeed. So if you need extra hope, because I'm feeling a whole lot of emotions with this, if you're feeling it, if you're feeling this way, I am sending you so much extra hope, compassion, kindness, love, acceptance, peace, and so much more. All right. And the last tip that they had on this list is back up your data. Save, save, save everything that you work on. Whether it's on a computer, on your phone, those pictures that you're taking, put them on an external hard drive, save them to your computer, something. Very, very important. What you do, who you are, is important. So treat yourself that way. And this is not exactly how I expected this episode to go. I started with the idea we were going to just talk about retrogrades and I was going to channel energies, and Spirit came through. I was like, hey, we're going to talk about this too. Okay. So I am sending you so much love, so much support, so much positive energies to you all to support you in your highest good. I love you. Always remember, you are accepted, you are valid, and you are loved.
Thank you for joining me today as we explore what makes us uniquely loved. Be sure to subscribe. More adventure awaits. For more articles and to work with me as your personal guide, go to www.techwitchlayer.com. Always remember, you are accepted, you are valid, you are loved.